All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah coming this evening with a message. And this is the message that is long overdue. It's not like Sister Deborah have not spoken this message in time past. I think I did something wrong here. Uh, Really? Yes. Okay. No, I'm right. I'm right. My clock is saying a whole hour off, and I'm trying to make it make sense. It shouldn't say that, but and I'm like, am I early or am I on time here? So Sister Deborah is coming with a message that's long overdue. For this message is good, uh, 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 and not just good, but it's needed. I don't even think I even spoke on this topic this year, but I've uploaded many of videos, and I've also done lives where I'm talking about what took place before the foundation of the world. I want to explain to y'all that in that in the message that I'm about to bring forth, it's what you call fire and power at the same time. It's a message that holds fire and power. And yes, I'm going to say some things that I haven't said before. So even though you might have caught Sister Deborah in time past, a year, maybe 2 years, when she brought this message forth, what took place before the foundation of the world. I want to let you all know that alone is a mystery. It's what I used to call the keys to the kingdom. If you know what took place before the foundation of the world, you got a spare key to the kingdom. Many people couldn't even deal with the fact that something actually took place before the foundation of the world. But what they never understood and never were taught is it was before it is. It was before it shall be. So now we have to get to what it was, since we think we know what it is and we think we know what it's going to be. And you don't know it. You don't know it because you first have to know what it was before you know what it is or before you know what it's going to be. And I noticed that the Most High has purposely held that mystery back. And I give him glory and honor for that because it makes so much sense in such a midnight hour. It makes so much sense to me why he kept that back. It was no need for it. People can't even deal with the light. People cannot even teach the light. People won't teach spirit and truth. So therefore, why should the Most High release what took place before the foundation of the world? Even after I break it down as far as it can go, people still are going to go in a way of darkness as if they have not heard. But this here, Sister Deborah is giving to you. And I will take out a moment for those who uh, are lost with the cause and without, and they just come to the page just to be coming. This is not the page. This is not the evening. This is not the message for you. For this message, it carries so much spirit and truth and light to where Yah will and shall measure you from this day on. After you done heard the light, you done heard spirit and truth, and still you come off and walk the same way. This message is a message that is actually a change life, a life living change for you, because this is also a place where this message is also a place where you can be resting in the bosom of the Father from this day on. But if you do not have the Spirit of Yah in your presence, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard if you don't have him in your presence, Meaning, if you don't have him somewhere close to you, in you, around you, that you can really feel the spirit of who the creator is in your midst. Because this message here, I'm going to give you some time to get up and get out. I ain't going to miss you. It ain't going to hurt Sister Deborah. Because this message was given to me when I was a teenager, a young teenager. And want me to tell y'all, the Spirit taught it to me. But let me show you how he did it. He came way from LA, California. He swung a message to me, and I began to ask questions, which he said, I'm going to have to teach you. Because I asked questions, y'all, nobody would answer. No one can answer. Because I don't want to ask the questions of the flesh. I drive straight into the spirit. I want to know the truth of the matter. So when I was a teenager, he took me, he brought me this revelation from Los Angeles, California. And I mean, when the first lesson got to me, I was like off the chain. I had all kind of questions for the Most High, y'all. But none of these lessons can answer the question that I had within. And I give him glory and honor for at that moment being that young, that he abided in me, and he had me abiding in him, and he taught me from that level. And my first lesson was what took place before the foundation of the world. They test me in LA. I can't explain where they come from, the lessons come from. I cannot explain how. All I know is when they send me a lesson, every question that could possibly be, I was up on y'all asking them, wait a minute, did. Until I got all my answers met. The classes, I told my mother, she said, you get these here little these little papers, and after I finished 49 and that ended, they gave me a little certificate, and I showed it to my mother. She says, that them little papers that comes in the mail. I said, yeah. The people, you know what? My mother had no idea where I was getting all that I was receiving. I was receiving it, and I was questioning Yah regarding it. And he came through for me, y'all. And I was a young teenager. He came through. My mother said, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to take this. She did it, I think, for 10 lessons, and she stopped. But with me, it was what he had already invested in me. And he sent them lessons that did not fulfill me the way I needed to be fulfilled in understanding. Because you guys, someone can ask me something or give me a question, and I just can't settle right there. Just like this study guide. I just can't go into one verse and say, okay, it said it, that's it. No, the Ruach in me dissect everything that comes before me. Because he wants me to know. Okay, so this message is about what took place before the foundation of the world. Okay, hello in the live chat. It's good to see everyone. I want to also say in the live, we're going to have newcomers. Okay, and with the newcomers, we're going to stick with the topic. I'm not going to be looking in the live for verses and chapters, okay, in scriptures or whatever. I'm going to be focusing on breaking this down for those that I know that is going to be the newcomers. And as I explained to you all, that's what Yah is doing behind the scene. He's ushering everybody in just in time, y'all. He's doing it just in time. And it's not a time like our time. It's a time that set it up in that day that he has all this orchestrated. So why I'm coming back with something many of you all have already heard, understand there are new subscribers, okay? And I want them to get a feel of what the Ruach himself has taught me about what took place before the foundation of the world. Because knowing what took place before the foundation of the world is really set my pace for even today. That's why I can't take what everybody keeps saying. They want to say left one day, then they say right, then they say up, then they say down. They don't know if they're going or coming or if they really gonna get there. But Sister Deborah know where she at. She know where she's been. She knows where she's at. And you know what, y'all? I know where I'm going. Okay? So this is how heaven is. You know, you can't know what is. You cannot know what shall be until you know where you come from, where it come from, what was. So you first have to know what was before you know what is. You first have to know what was before you know what's going to be. Hello. I know it. You want to take Yah from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When this prophet in the wilderness, guess what? I'm still on A. Where you at? Okay. So I'm going to just tell you that's where I'm at. I'm still on A. So you can go on down there to Z if you think that's where you at. And I'm giving you that opportunity. But let me tell y'all something. What Sister Deborah finna bring to you is the mystery to the kingdom. And it's going to even enlighten many that has heard this topic before. I'm not going to just bring it in the way that I brought it in time past, because I don't have my poster where I broke it down in time past. Right now, I'm finna speak it the way it is in me, because it is the key to the kingdom. It is the mystery of the kingdom. What took place before the foundation of the world, if we were to join a place of worship, that should have been the first thing they taught. It's what took place before the foundation of the world. You know why? That's when you're seeking ye the kingdom. Oh, yeah. That's when you're seeking ye the kingdom first. It's when you know what took place first and foremost. You know how many say, when he have said that we are to seek ye the kingdom first, he meant that. It stood in time past, in the beginning, and it stands all the way to the end. But guess what? According for you to seek ye the kingdom first, then therefore you have to know what took place before the foundation in the kingdom first. Because where the kingdom is and where the kingdom shall be, that's where we want to know. And it's really to set a lot of people free, because right now that's where people are at. They tired of being in captivity and in bondage to themselves and to the words that's all across the world. They tired of being in that time. They want to be set free somewhere along the line. And this message will set you free. And I'm going to say this. In the beginning, that was, because you really don't know what is until you know what was. And you don't know what's coming until you know what was. And what was is what took place before the foundation of the world. Okay. There was something taking place in the kingdom. Okay. In the kingdom don't mean the heavens that you see, the skies, the clouds, and the blue, and so on. I'm talking about the kingdom where the throne, where the creator reside. And that which took place there alone. And I had I was just as silly can be. I had so many questions. Well, why'd you let them do that? Why'd you let them do that? Why did you let them get away with that? And then realize, even to today, that's that same one that was yesterday that taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. He's the same. He really do not change, you guys. He really do not change, because that's the same thing I say today. And I said it back then. Well, why'd you let them do that? Why are they doing that? What? But that's just that grace and mercy that is a part of who he is. He ain't like us. He ain't like us, and we ain't even trying to get to know him. We just want to know ourselves and think we in there with him, but we ain't trying to get to know him. But let me tell you a little something this evening. What took place before the foundation of the world? It started in the kingdom where the creator resides. And where he's at and is and shall be, even though he's everywhere, and can't nobody tell him where to be and when and how and what time and what day, what hour and what moment, what year. He can be anywhere he want to be because he's the I am. I am here. I am there. I am up. I am down. Who can tell me where to be? I'm on day. I'm on night. I'm on morning. I'm on noon. He's whatever he wants to be, what time he wants to be, and he can be whomever he want to be. That's just who he is. So we're talking about he that was, okay? We ain't getting ready to talk about he that is. We finna give you a little something in the kingdom. We're going to bring the kingdom down. Ain't that what Yeshua said? The kingdom of heaven is at hand. That was his first ministry. He wanted us to understand that he was coming down with Christ, which was the kingdom, because the kingdom is built up of power, word, and the spirit of the Father and the Father himself. That's the kingdom. So Yeshua was telling us all the time when he came down, the kingdom is at hand. The kingdom is at hand. Repent, repent. That means he was blowing the trumpet, giving us a warning. And even to today, we still don't know the warning nor the trumpet. We still don't know. But that's what he was saying. So Sister Deborah finna take you up to the kingdom. And then I'm going to just bring that kingdom down to you. Okay? So in the kingdom was something taking place. And whatever it was, and not just was and is, it was taking place to the point where the Father himself had separated in the kingdom. In the kingdom. And in that process of what was taking place, there was, I'm going to call it like unto a battle. Okay. It wasn't a battle that he could not defeat. It was a battle that he did defeat. Okay. And he did it according to his will. See, you know how you get a will? A lot of people will go to attorneys, but see, you know, the Father don't need to go to an attorney to write up a will. You know, he is the will itself. So that's what he did. He set up a will. Okay. I'm finna clean this mess up. And it was something taking place that caused the kingdom as the place where the creator reside, his throne and all. And in the midst of it, he decided to take it and place it under a will. And the will doesn't have anything to do with nobody but him and him alone. But why he wanted to take it, because the chaos was more than what he was willing to deal with. Okay. So what he did, he put two sides to it. But before he put two sides, they pretty much determined in a way what side they wanted. You know, there was two sides. And they pretty much said, I'm going to be on this side. I'm going to be on this side. And the other one said, no, I'm going to be on this side. Or I'm going to be on this side. Now, just imagine, you got all these angels, spirits in the kingdom. And here they are with a spiritual mind and a spiritual heart trying to decide which side they want to be on, which side they really want to be on. The majority of the angels took the side of the Father, the Creator. It wasn't that the side that decided to go the way that one angel had led them. My question to the Father, why did you give this angel so much time to where he convinced other angels to follow him? The moment the thought of that angel, which thought that he was going to end up winning the throne, all because what? They had followers. He had followers identical to down here on the earth. Just because you see 1 million followers, just because you see 10,000 followers, just because you see 500,000 followers, I don't care if you see 1 billion followers, you better go to opposite side of that multitude, because it'd even change you, the way you think, the way you function, the way you see things, the way you hear things, the way you feel things. It will change you. So what happened is, here it is, this entity, this angel, he was looking at the fact that he was, many of the other angels marveled off after him, because they felt he was all that and some. So they admired him. Okay. So there you had angels in the heavens, spirits, and the majority of these angels went the way of Yah. Okay. But the other one, they decide to marvel off the angel that felt that he was all that and something. And because he had followers, now I'm finna sit on the throne, because I got people here, not people, spirits, that's willing to see what I'm doing, and they kind of, maybe I can get the throne. When that's actually something of what happened in the kingdom. Now, one thing you all must understand is, it's the same way Yah is today. I was trying to explain that to you. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He's the same way today. I told y'all, he ain't coming down here to beg you to join him or to do what he tell you to do. You thinking in this midnight hour he's waiting to make your crooked tail straight? You think in this midnight hours he's waiting to turn your world upside down so you can get on the right side? You think he's coming to save you? You think he's coming to redeem you? He ain't coming, y'all. He's not coming. The work was completed before the foundation of the world, because it was found in the spirits, which is angels. Angels are spirits, spirits are angels. Okay? It was already orchestrated in the kingdom. So after this certain angel felt, because other angels marvel him and they really got a kick out of him, he figured, okay, I'm going to steal the throne. Not steal it, but I'm going to, I'm so known, I'm going to sit on this throne. But it didn't turn out that way. My first question, not my first one, it wasn't my first one, because I was like, why did you let him do that? Why did you even let him last? I said, Father, you knew the mind of that angel. Why did you let him even get there? And that's how I was at a teenage. I was asking questions way beyond what anybody on this earth can answer. And I know I wasn't going to get the answer from no flesh. So I'm just grateful that the kingdom found time to deal with this little old hen. I wasn't a little old hen. I was a young hen then. So what happened is, during this time, the one that thought he was going to get the throne, Yah had already decided that when he is done misleading others, then he would change everything. And that's what he did. And this is what he did. Really, really, really good. He decided to, instead of him making the choice as to say, everybody get out of here, meaning bring him to the earth, he said, you know what? You got these over here, and then you got this small group over here. Let me remove this small group, but I got to set it up in a way that is my will. Okay, so the Father at that time in the kingdom, before the foundation of the world, he set up his will. Okay, and in his will, things are supposed to go from the beginning to the end. That's the will. It's set up from the start to the finished. He set it up that way. And at that point, when it started, before it started, he orchestrated everything from the kingdom so that everything will fall in place from the beginning to the end. From the beginning all the way to the end. He set his will up. Okay? So when you hear about the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, that's one of the mysteries. And the mystery is that the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. So the world today, when they hear that the lamb was slaughtered and they say, okay, that's what's doing Yeshua HaMashiach time, which is the Messiah. No, baby. When you are taught by the Ruach, he lets you know the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world for the mission to take place at a certain time period in the will. Everything was orchestrated from the kingdom, from the throne. Let me just let you know that. So in this here, he also had two sections, okay? Because you had two sets of spirits wanting to follow two certain ways. So he said, okay, what I'm going to do before I make the lamb slaughtered, before I create the lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world, let me set it up to where these on this side, on my right side, will be mine. They will be considered sheets coming back, but they are my spiritual seed going down. How about that? Okay. And on this side, these are the one that's not going to return into my eternal. The one who wanted to follow the angel that wanted to manipulate them, that he was all that and some. Since y'all want to follow that, you're going down, okay? And you're going to have a different eternal destiny because you can't come back near me. So once you come down, that's your destiny. And they are called the serpent seed because they followed he that we know as him to be Satan, the serpent. Okay? So this is why heavens had orchestrated it to really everything to stand in the kingdom before the foundation of the world. This is a level that so no flesh of a man or a woman can touch this realm because it was orchestrated before the foundation of the world. So therefore it is locked in the kingdom. And it is even Yeshua, when he was battling with Satan, he kept saying, it is written, it is written. See, what people don't understand, what took place before the foundation of the world, it is written. It is letting you know heaven's got it all wrote in and wrote out. Ain't nothing a flesh of a man can do down here. So even Yeshua, he couldn't. He couldn't. Because it was written from the kingdom, not from the earth. The kingdom written had everything wrote out from the beginning to the end. You hear the world talking about he is Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He's the first and the last one. Give him that. Glorify him in that. Let me see you do that. Okay? No, you can't. Because you got to put yourself in it. So here it is. The kingdom now has been set. Yah has separated them to have first and foremost, guess what he separate them from? I mean, he separate their eternal. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? Yah separate the spiritual seeds, which were the angels that followed, that turned to him, and the ones that turned to the spiritual seed angel, which was the one that thought that he was all that and some in the kingdom. They are considered the serpent seed. They are the one that comes down to walk in the flesh and let the flesh walk in them. Okay? This one on this side are those who are walking in the spirit. And that you notice the spirit, they're born of the spirit. Why? Because they're walking in the spirit and they're born in the spirit. And the spirit is the capital S, letting you know it's Yah. So these are the seeds of Yah, and these are the seeds of the serpent. They were all sunk down here on the earth. Why? Because Yah was cleaning out the kingdom. And when he was cleaning out the kingdom and how he did it, he brought everything down to the earth. Okay. And he added his spiritual seeds along with the serpent seed that had to get out. Okay. So they all came down. We all came down to the earth. But what had happened is even the spiritual seed that was in the kingdom and the serpent seed, it wasn't called the serpent seed. It was called that angel who was rebellion and wanted the throne of Yah. Those followers. See, all of them thought what they thought is they was going to follow him wherever he go, as if he had some sort of power. They had no idea that they was going to end up. A lot of them was going to end up in the uttermost part in chain. See, a lot of them didn't know that. Y'all only allowed certain, I mean, not certain ones, but Satan to have other spirits, angels to come down with him. But the majority of them are chained down in the uttermost darkness. What they waiting for? Y'all to use them. He's still going to use them. And that's what he's doing. That's what the whole revelation is about. Sending angels down from the kingdom, open up the pit. But even the two witnesses, something from the pit gonna come up and take them out. You see, that's where you know that Yah controls any and everything, no matter what it is. Okay, so here now we are down on the earth as Yah has sent us down. But the reason why Satan ended up with so many is because, you know, the Father was explaining to me in the kingdom, once he sent the ones in the uttermost darkness and the ones that came with Satan, came down with him, he said that there were still angels in the kingdom stating that they was wondering what this other angel, which was Lucifer, I'm just saying Lucifer, honestly, I don't even think that was the name, but we don't call him the bad angel that led the other angels. There were still other angels questioning what he was doing in a way that they were still in doubt. They were still wondering if they should have followed him. So a lot of them that was on the Most High Yah side as spiritual seeds, they wanted, and they kept questioning what was he doing when he was in the presence of Yah. Why? Because some of them thought in their hearts and in their spiritual heart and their spiritual mind was to follow, but they didn't want to give up their place. But the way Yah did it, he said, Deborah, I made an earth and I just put them down. And when I put them down, they followed in the direction in which their spiritual mind and their spiritual heart that I already knew would go. See, we're thinking that y'all don't know nothing about who's who and what's what people doing yesterday, today, and for no, baby. Heaven has orchestrated it all on the earth. But what happened? The reason why he had the lamb slaughter before, because before he sent his spiritual seeds down, he already knew I had to redeem them back. Because when they get down there with them, they're going to become them. For sure. They're going to become like Satan's seed and the world that they're living in. They're going to become that without a doubt. So you see how the Most High had his T's crossing his I's dotted. He said, I'm going to send my spiritual seeds down, but they're going to get tied up with them. And that's exactly what they did. Why? Because once they got in that flesh, their spirit was allowing their flesh to have dominion over them. They were allowing their flesh to rule. So Yah wasn't worried about them doing that. Why? He had a ram in the bush. That was the Messiah. See, that's why it was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. Because in his plan, he said, I'm gonna use this ram in the bush to redeem minds back to me. Because they didn't ask to come down. I brought them down. And they walked in the direction of darkness. But that's all right. I'm gonna get them back. Because they didn't have to come down here. I sent them down. And I'm gonna redeem them back. So that's why the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. It didn't have to wait till Yeshua hit the ground, Yeshua HaMashiach. It didn't have to wait till Mary was conceived. The lamb was already prepared before heaven and earth was even created to already redeem the ones that he was sending down. That was the spiritual seed. Y'all had it. He had it all planned. It's called his will. You see? So when this all took place before the foundation of the world. So everybody that came down as the spiritual seed, which is on the right-hand side of the Father, they're coming back as sheep, as Yeshua going to call them. But they are spiritual seeds that's coming down. And those that are the seed of darkness, seed of Satan, which is also, you hear, born of the flesh, that's those on the left-hand side. See, y'all ain't up in the kingdom saying, oh, are they going to do right? Oh, they did this. Oh, they don't do it. When he put Adam and Eve in there, he already know which side they was going to go to. Because he holds the key to all things. He knew what each one was sent down here to do. He already knew that. He even had the ram in the bush, which was the Messiah, the lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world, before he even sent his. Why? Because he going to get his back. That's why people don't understand what Yeshua stood for and what HaMashiach stood for, what the world called Jesus Christ. They don't even know. He was redeeming those that was the spiritual seed back to his bosom. That's why we down here clowning so much, thinking we can work our way into his kingdom, thinking we can manipulate him to see us from the outside, thinking like he don't know our inside, or he don't know our thoughts, and he don't know our ways. He don't know nothing about us, and we already written in his will from the way we came down already. That's why I say I ain't gonna hold them blameless, because they didn't send themselves down. I sent them down there. Because I had some on the right side still wanting to follow and wondering what was going on when this how would I say, this angel, this spirit that thought he was going to have my throne, they still up there saying, when I wonder if we should have went with him. I'll tell you what, I set them down here, Deborah, already knowing their thoughts in the way that they were going to go. Look how he set Adam and Eve. Perfect. No sin. Perfect. Everything perfectly created. But did it stop them from, they didn't go to that perfect tree of life. They didn't go to the other trees. They went to the tree in which direction they headed from the kingdom. That's why they ushered sin in. Because perfection and perfect was all that he created. But he said, wait a minute, Deborah, don't forget to tell them. That's why them two trees was down there. See, they don't know that. This is the ignorance of the flesh of men and women. When you never wonder, well, why would he put two trees or a tree of knowledge of good and evil if he didn't want them going to it? He didn't say that. You just don't know what took place before the foundation of the world. He planned to put a tree of life because he figured, oh, this one here represent me, eternal life. But I'm going to put a tree to the eternal death. Because those that's coming down, many going to follow therein. The will explains everything that's even happening in the year of 2025. That will that Yah had before the foundation of the world covered all the way until the end, even telling you about how the New Jerusalem coming down. But what happened? Why didn't they teach this? Why didn't they preach this? Why didn't they instill these things into people? It's because the people wasn't what they think they are or who they think they are. This is the main reason why. Everybody thinking that they got the keys to the kingdom. Everybody thinking they are there already. They for the most high Yah. And they have no idea. Yah knows who's for him. He already redeemed them back. That's what the Messiah was coming to do. That's the lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. They were already redeemed before heaven and earth was even created. They were already redeemed back. No matter what they did on earth, he knew where they come from. He knew where they come from. And even people teaching it now don't understand where it talks about he's going to hold them blameless. They don't understand. Why? Because it took place before the foundation of the world. When he sealed in, hey, they blameless because those are mine going down. And they going down in a world of wicked and evil. I send them down there. But they flesh going to get caught up from the floor up in a lot of things, but I'm coming for their spirit. I didn't redeem their spirit already. So I ain't going to blame you, baby. But you ain't going to be able to sit down here and do everything Satan doing and think that you're going to go back to the kingdom. Because Yah redeemed you. That's not, if you mimicking Satan and darkness and you walking according to the flesh is sin, y'all. It blew my mind when David was talking about his mother conceived him in sin. People really don't know what sin is. Y'all know that? Sin is your flesh. Sin is the number one thing about you, and that's your flesh. How could you conceive somebody and that be sin? It makes sense. You know how? It's flesh. Y'all want us to understand flesh is sin. Agree with it or not, it don't make no difference. You ain't no heaven and no hell to rechange what he already orchestrated from his kingdom. Sin. Paul hollering over here, when I try to do right, why am I still doing wrong? But I know what it is. I'm still under the law of Yah. Woo! So when they was talking about Paul, they don't understand, baby. Paul already been redeemed. What about you? Which one are you? Which one do you represent? While you sitting here trying to crucify Paul in the year of 2025, I ask you this. Have you been redeemed? Because Paul has. You don't come down here perfect. People so sickening. That's why they standing in all these places of worshiping these people that's leading them, even on YouTube, taking these people as gods. Oh, they holy, they bow. And these people, is you looking at them and look at Sister Deborah, I'm flesh. So they put so much confidence in them. And they fail to realize, baby, flesh is sin. When you looking at us, you looking at our flesh, it's sin. You're looking at Sister Deborah's sin. But no, we want to make flesh higher. We want to make it perfect. We want to make it excellent, holy. A man of God, a woman of God. That's how we messed up from the flow up in our sinless flesh. Because we don't understand what took place before the foundation of the world. You're not redeemed just because you don't hear muzzling your mouth or running your mouth, quoting scriptures, pulling out precepts and lying here and a little here. Nobody gives a rat's behind about all the lost books, the found books, the Enoch book, the King James 16. Those are things for the flesh. Pull up with the things of the spirit, and I bet you'll sit down. You can't. Because those he redeemed, he coming to for sure redeem them. But guess what? Guess how he's doing it? It's already sealed in them to come back. That's what Christ raised Yeshua up from the dead. To seal the redeemed back to the Father. Even those who had not even been born. Because see, you didn't know what took place before the foundation of the world. If they came from the bosom of the spiritual seed, they're going to be redeemed back to the bosom of the spiritual seed. Any and everything on this earth, ain't none of it going to worship Yah in the flesh. All these religions, these denominations, these here pastors, these priests, these bishops, these apostles, these prophets, these prophetess, these Maureen, these watchmen, these seers, they ain't crap but flesh. And y'all want to put them on the highest pedal and call them holy. You don't know what holy is, do you? You don't even know what holy is. When you have that holy, you better have that power. And when you have that power, you better have his word. And when you have that word, you better have his spirit. Hello. So what do you have? You have nothing. Nothing. Running around here like a chicken with his head off talking about the name. Sit down. It's impossible for him to be in you and the name not residing in you. Shut up. You have to recognize he is holy. Holy is his name. How about that? You didn't know that, did you? See? His word is his name. His power is his name. His spirit is his name. And we running around here manipulating people to believe and everybody using this AI and then cursing the AI at the same time, but using it on the other end. Sickening. All of these people on YouTube using AI for everything. But then they want to tell you, don't get to AI, don't use AI. These are people that's bound to go into darkness. Not go into dark. They're already walking in that direction. Because they're not leading people to what the kingdom has his spiritual seed to lead the people to. The light. To the light. Lead them by leading them by spirit and truth. So that they too can see if Yah is in them and greater in them than anything in the world. People don't even know Yah abide in them. They have no idea because of the things that people are teaching them. But see, this is what took place before the foundation of the world. He knows whose he is. He knows who's returning. A lot of people didn't even understand in Revelation 7 when he had the angels to seal them in the forehead. He was putting them in the forehead so all the darkness can know. Touch them if you want. Even Satan himself see the seal that he sealed the 144. They ain't coming after them that he sealed the 144. That's what the seal is for. It's for the outside to know. You mess with it if you want to. See, he got his already in his hand. While we trying to portray we in his hand. And we don't know a thing about him. We don't know his word, that he is the word. We don't know that he's the power. We don't know he's the spirit. We don't know he's the father. We're running around here trying to make him like the flesh of a man. And he done orchestrated the kingdom from heaven. He done brought it all the way to the earth. And we still on dumb city. Like we don't know nothing about him. So when I look back at it from teenager to now, I'm like saying, I see why you did that. You only gave the mystery to those that you knew. Not because we are all that and some. We so perfect, we so excellent, because we can't. We in this nasty flesh that's loaded with sin and iniquity. But y'all say I go for that spiritual heart there because you know that's my seal. That's what took place before the foundation of the world. He knew who was his. And that's why he said, I'm going to hold them blameless, because I know what's mine. I know what came down here that represent me. This is why people don't know what took place before the foundation of the world, because if they did, they'll stop trying to act a monkey. But then again, he set it up from the kingdom before the foundation of the world. He's sitting here saying that, okay, Deborah, but I put two gates. The way is the one on the broad side ain't going to be able to see the narrow gate. The one on the narrow gate ain't going to worry about what's on the broad gate and see all them going through the broad gate. See, he did already separated. See, do you think that you all can see the gate? Can you see the gate? Can you see the broad gate? Can you see the narrow gate? Well, what's the sense of having a broad gate and a narrow gate and you can't see it? Because it ain't for you to see, it's for y'all to see it. Because he's only leading his the way of the narrow gate. That's how he orchestrated it from the kingdom. I don't care what nothing go on down here. Every time I turn around, people want to make the Father in the kingdom the liar, just so people can follow them. They want the glory. They want the honor. They want the praise. That's where they want it from, their flesh level. They want all of this for their flesh level, just for their flesh level. These people on YouTube, oh, their flesh is getting fulfilled. They think that they are leaders. They think they leading somebody, and they ain't got a light to lead nobody in. They ain't got no spirit and truth, and they definitely don't hold the Ruach HaKodesh in their spirit. But the people are flaunting where they need to go. It's finished. They going in the direction that they were assigned, not because they was assigned by the right hand of the Father. Their position from the kingdom of their wickedness, not wickedness, but they sin. We can call it sin, which it ain't sin, but in the kingdom, whatever they did, they messed up from the floor up with the Most High Yah. And that's why they got their tails down here clowning. They don't have no feeling. No, they don't have no emotions. They don't have nothing for y'all. And that's what a lot of y'all don't understand. And y'all trying to hang with these people that don't have no desire to even seek his face or to seek him, period. They don't want to even know nothing. That's why they on this devil platform, following all these people on this devil platform, misleading them and misguiding them. And they rather follow them because that's their direction heavens had signed them to. They gonna go all the way. And when it's over, guess what? See, what they did with YouTube and all these platforms is they took the people, and these people are showing them the way of the flesh. And they run into them because I don't know if y'all noticed it. It's a big old thing that's going on where the adult children are going up against the mothers. The adult children are going up against the mothers, and it is booming all over the world. And you're trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, what kind of storm is this? It's a sick one. It's a sick one. But it's another way of showing who's who and what's what. Neither the mother nor the children are following Yah. And if you are following Yah, you're going to have all your children or many of them against you, because we don't want to believe that he said he come to bring the sword to divide. What is he divided? What he divided in the kingdom? What took place before the foundation of the world is him dividing the spiritual seed from the dark seed, the serpent seed. He divided before he even brought you down here, and you got down here being what you were up there. So while you think you can conquer this earth, you're going to find out what heaven's got prepared for you. And like Yeshua said, it is written. It is written. It is written. Satan bounced off of him and said, yep, it's written. And then y'all walking y'all tails around here like ain't nothing written, and y'all don't know what the rats behind they talking about. They talking about what took place before the foundation of the world. Yeshua sitting here telling the serpent, the Satan, that it is written. Where is it written at? In the kingdom. And then y'all standing around here acting like y'all don't know what Satan is saying, what Yeshua is saying to Satan. And then Satan turned around and said, it is written. Well, wait, hold up. Satan saying it's written. Yeshua saying it's written. But what's wrong with these people today? Don't know that the heavens had wrote everything up and everything down. It's finished. So while we down here clowning and acting a fool, thinking we finding ourselves in a direction that we don't even understand, that's leading to either the darkness or to the light. So this is what took place before the foundation of the world. Yeshua called it out and said, it's written. It is written. Satan turned around and said, it is written. Wait a minute, hold on. What are they talking about? What took place before the foundation of the world? For it is written. So it shows me that it's a lot of things that he has allowed us, because it's a lot of times he said before the foundation of the world. There's a lot of times he said, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. I predestined you before the foundation of the world. Well, wait a minute, hold up. What's going on before this foundation of the world? What took place before the foundation of the world? It's Yah's whole order was before the foundation of the world. Do you know what that's actually saying? All these things everybody's doing in their flesh, it really is an identity of really who you represent. Because by now, somewhere along the line, we all are sin. We all iniquity, but we all ain't going back to eternal. So how is your flesh matching those that's in the serpent seed? Why? Because you got down here and you're still doing the things without even considering the fact that, wait a minute now, we're doing the same thing the serpent seed doing. We both sinning. So this is why you need the Holy Spirit living in you to separate you from the world. Oh no, I can separate myself. I know I got my keys to the kingdom. I got my ticket because I'm doing nothing. He said, don't let him, don't let him come and find you doing nothing. But people don't care about that. They just thinking heaven's got the answer to them. That's how people are on the earth. That's why I sit back and I say, I see why you didn't give them the mystery of the kingdom. It's because people really believe that heaven's bowed down to them. They think that this heaven got to do it the way they said and go in the way that they said, and there's no other way. Same mindset that this angel had in the kingdom, wanting to take over. The same mindset is being relayed right here on the earth. And you know what? I can see it just as clear can be. That's the mindset on the earth, that we're going to rule on the earth the way we want to, the way we say it is. That's why do you think y'all got so many different denominations, different religions, different understanding, different interpretations? Because you ain't got the real deal, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, the true teacher living in you to teach you to stay on the path to the narrow gate. But everybody in the world, you ask them, they all, whether they a Muslim or whatever, they think after this old life, many of them, I ain't gonna say everybody, but many of them thinking they going somewhere where it's gonna be better than where they at now. Do y'all know that? That's the mindset. They really believe that they got the fullness of what is after this old life. Now, the kingdom had already separated everybody. So again, what took place before the foundation of the world is where Yah had already handpicked his and sent them down, had the ram in the bush called the lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world to redeem them back. And them redeeming Yeshua, raising Hamashiach, raising Yeshua up was redeeming us back from death to eternal life. That's what it really was about. Oh, yes. Even though Yeshua blood was for all man's sins to be wiped away. See how just Yah is? He wiped away all our sins. So when he died on that cross, that was the whole world was sinless again, like it was in the garden. But it didn't take even a second for all the sin to build up as if it never ceased. He only died for all to erase all sin, not to erase the sin that continued even after he died, to erase the sin. That's why Hamashiach stayed in the grave, raised him up, because the power of who Hamashiach is, which the world called Christ, had death in his hand, raised death up as if it had no power. Brought Yeshua back after the 3 days. If y'all knew what took place with that power. Oh boy, that power can get a grip of death and make death hate it even exist. Father, I'm going to be in trouble tonight. Praise the mighty Yah. The power of Yah can take death and make death feel it never exists. Y'all don't know my Father. Y'all don't know my Most High. That's what I love about the power. Only thing I don't like is that they don't know nothing about it. That's what makes me feel so good, is to know this Creator. I don't give a rat's behind what the flesh have to say about him. I know him for who he is. Oh, wait a minute now. Not for what just who he is, but who he was before the foundation of the world. Now, let me seal something in y'all. Here we go. Before the foundation of the world, those that y'all sent down here, hear me now. I want to explain something to you because I'm finna bust it wide open. Before the foundation of the world, there was never a nationality. There was never a race. They were all spirits. They were all spirits. And what Yah did for his spiritual seeds as his servant. Woo, Father, Yah, you going all the way, ain't you? Before the foundation of the world, his spiritual seeds that's coming to represent him as his servants, he branded them to come down. And just because he branded them, he branded them, but it didn't take away sin and iniquity. I heard David saying, Deborah, tell her, baby. Tell him. Oh, y'all branded them from the kingdom. Why? Because he branded their spirits. And their flesh came down. Born in this world of sin. You see? So even though Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was the spiritual seed, they still had sin and iniquity. That's what David was trying to explain to y'all. Oh, Solomon explains it. Paul explains it. Peter explains. They all, Jeremiah and Ezekiel. Oh, Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Isaiah explains it. But nobody want to hear it. Because to hear it, it will give you a sneak peek that something really took place before the foundation of the world. So the Most High branded his from the kingdom. From the kingdom. And those that are his servant, he branded them with righteous belief, faith, and fear. That's what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had. So when we're running our ducktails out here talking about we Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, sit your tail down. Because you don't know you Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or you in the flesh or in the spirit? In the flesh. Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they sinned. They had iniquity. So, they seed in the flesh. But what you didn't know, them coming down in the spirit, they came down as servants of the Most High God in the spirit. And according for them to come down, he branded them with righteous belief, faith, and fear. And those are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that's going to return. Those are the seeds of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that's going to return. They too was branded with righteous faith, belief, and fear. It's a brand. That's why y'all saw them doing things. And a lot of y'all won't even tell the truth of the matter of what these men done. Because you think they were holier than thou. You's a lie from the pit of hell. You's a lie from the pit of hell. They was born in this world in sin like we were. But see, because people don't know what took place before the foundation of the world, they just assume, they Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they men out of Yah own heart. You's a lie. They are men that came as the servants of Yah as spiritual seeds. They are branded with belief, righteous faith, and fear. But guess what? What Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob flesh seed didn't know, nor they spiritual seed didn't know, that Yah had others branded. Oh, yes, he did. He had other spirits come down here, y'all, branded, before they left heaven, before they left the kingdom. See, y'all can't tell my Father what to do and how to do it and the way to do it. Sit y'all tails down and learn what took place before the foundation of the world. But it's over. If it's already in you, that spirit of Yah, he will teach you and expound in you what you heard today. Because what he did is his brand, Yah's brand, is righteous, belief, faith, and fear. So a lot of us run around here and we don't understand what midnight hour we in. That means everybody got to what? Come home. You got to head home. And home means back to Yah. Now there are Gentiles. There are Gentiles. There are even heathens. Other nations that also been branded. They were grafted in. Grafted in mean flesh. Ooh-wee. You see? Grafted in the spirit mean how they came back. How they got grafted in the flesh. And when I say grafted in, he ain't gonna let their flesh be out here buckling up and acting crazy. He's already branded them with two words: belief and faith. They are not to be teaching somebody like Sister Deborah, because I'm branded with righteous, belief, faith, and fear. I'm a servant of the Most High Yah. But they are grafted in. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Heaven rule. Praise the mighty Yah. We as Hebrew Israelites and tribe of Judah especially think that they have to answer to us. Oh no, baby, you've been all up. They didn't have to answer back then, and they don't have to answer now. But what they do have to answer is the calling. It's time to come in. That's what they have to answer. They have to hear that trumpet of that holy calling saying, come on in. You know why he's telling them to come in? Because they are grafted in by belief, the brand belief, and by the brand faith. Come on in. Where did they get the faith and the belief brand? From the kingdom. They was already assigned to return back. This is why you don't know what took place before the foundation of the world. And now, even today, and I'm telling you, I'm saying this really strong today because I'm feeling this time. I see now why the Father never let them use that. In the Catholics, in the apostles, the priests, the pastors, the evangelists, the prophets, the prophetess, he never let them use that. It has always been his mystery that he shares from the inside to his own servant. That's why we are here to bring spirit and truth, which is the light out of darkness. That which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days, and we are the last runners. Okay? So what is happening is a lot of people in the Hebrew Israelites and I ain't gonna say a lot because 98% don't even know they Hebrew Israelite. Not 96% don't even know they Hebrew Israelites. And don't hold me to that percentage. I'd just be acting silly. But they don't even know they Hebrew Israelites. Okay? They don't even know that they're the tribe of Judah. The house of Israel. So right then you can see. Wonder what is the kingdom thinking? You think the kingdom didn't know they wasn't gonna know? Yeah, he knows that. Why? He got things invested in them in the spirit. He ain't down here worried about this nasty flesh acting a fool. Because what he got invested in us is in our spirit. Likewise to the Gentiles and even some heathens in nations. He got belief and faith being the brand to graft them in to the body of Hamashiach, the vine. But in that process, you will know them. They're not going to be out here talking against the other branches that is the original ones. They're not going to be out here trying to kill his prophets. They're not going to be out here trying to lie. They're going to be just trying to get in because it's time. He says it's time for us to get in. We better get in. They ain't got time to be out here killing, stealing, lying. They ain't got time to hang to their nationality. They ain't got time to agree with their race. They ain't got time. They heading to Yah. They ain't got time to wait on Judah and to wait on the house of Israel or the Hebrew Israelites. They ain't got time for that mess. We all don't have the time, baby. It's time to get up and get out. That means start following that which is in your spirit. Hear that voice in you telling you to get up, get out. These are the ones that the heathens and the Gentiles, they are branded from the kingdom before the foundation to come down. They are the Gentiles that has been grafted in. And I can say heathens, there's some heathens that's going to be grafted in as well. Because I hear the word of Yah say, and then the heathen shall know, and they shall worship me. Woo! Woo! You mean the heathens? Because I got on him. I said, Father, I'm losing sleep. I'm trying to understand. You telling me the heathens? The heathens shall know? You've been on these heathens. Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah. Wait a minute, Father God, you've been on these heathens. And what is it the heathens need to know about you? Hey, Deborah, I got some of them grafted in. Stop messing with the Creator, telling him who he can and cannot have in his realm. And y'all don't understand how much y'all are tampering with his power, his authority. When you go around thinking that woman has to answer to the flesh. How do Israel and Judah expect somebody to respect them when they won't even respect them on their own self? But somebody's supposed to look at you like you somebody. When you ain't even looking at y'all like he's somebody. People said, it's over. Thank you, Father. Yeah. So in this whole thing about what took place before the foundation of the world, now one of you can mess with it. He got his. Whether you lock it or not, they already locked in. And the beauty of it is to know, Deborah, it took place before the foundation of the world. That was even before heaven and earth was created. That was before Yeshua HaMashiach. That was before anything did he write his in that are his. And it ain't nobody on this earth have the authority and the right to tell anybody anything different. You know why? We all are on this earth loaded with sin and iniquity, wicked and evil. And I thank my brothers throughout the whole instructions and direction, identifying their wickedness and their evil and their iniquity. What I like about them is they so much like me. Own that thing. Claim that thing. Own it. You see? Only one gonna own it is those that's in Yah. You see? And Yah in them. Because we can't own it if he ain't in us. That's our help. That's how we own this thing. Let's go to Romans chapter 11, verse 17. Romans chapter 11. And one thing about Judah, they are a stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient. They are people that won't hear nothing, won't accept nothing, won't do anything according to the Most High Yah's way. And the reason why I say that is they be the last one to accept what I'm saying. But I say to the other nations, come on in. It's that time. Not that time, it's that day. We at that end day. Find your place in the bosom of the Father through belief and faith. Come on in. Romans chapter 11. Let's go there. Verse 17. Work with me here. Verse 17, it reads, and if some of the branches be broken off, and thy being a wild tree, warped, grafted in among them. And that's the Gentiles. And guess what? Y'all said the heathens. Go back to your own study guide. You will see how the heathens are going to be the ones that recognize Yah. When he gets you to Mount Zion, or you're heading that way, when they realize you have been taken from out of the land of their captive, they're going to see you on that holy land. They're going to begin to worship Yah. They're going to come up to the mountain to worship your Yah. Stand down, y'all. It ain't for us. It ain't for us. Why? We that are Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, true Jews, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, guess what we got? We're loaded with sin and wickedness. They are iniquity is what I mean, and wickedness. They are loaded with sin, iniquity, and wicked. You see? So Yah has to move all that out the way and say, wait a minute, I got to go get mine. Move that away. All this flesh all up in my way there, but let me get, wait a minute. I know which one is mine. I know. Nobody can tell me who is mine. I know mine. While we down here trying to tell him who's who and what's what. Let's go into here. Here in verse 17, Romans chapter 11, verse 17, this is a way of showing you how they are grafted in as the Gentiles. And if some of the branches be broken off, and though being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partaker of the root and the fatness of the olive tree. Okay? Boast not against the branches. So what he's telling them, those that are grafted in, don't go boasting up against them, putting yourself ahead of them. Get behind them. Don't go boasting them up. Don't go boasting up on them saying, nah, I'm in there. You can't tell me I'm in there whether you like it or not. No. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because Yah branded you before the foundation of the world with belief and faith. And it's not in Hebrew Israelite. It's not in the true Jews. It's not in Judah. But in him did he branded you with belief and faith. That's how you coming in. So shut your mouth. Come in through the door. The spiritual door, which is belief and faith. That's how he's bringing you back home to him. Hebrew Israelites, true Jews, the what is it? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed. You're not coming in through that way. So you ain't got no business being worried about coming in that way. You got to be focused on Yah's way. And that's through belief and faith. That's through belief and faith. He says faith is a substance of things unseen, but yet believed. So therefore, they don't have to see it to believe it. It's already sealed in them. Sit down. How in the rats behind is somebody going to follow Israel? The true Israel, the true Jews, the true Hebrew Israelite. And we have never set nothing on this earth that pleases Yah. Sit down. But we think somebody else's flesh need to obey us and follow us. Their best bet is, now that they know that they are grafted in through belief and faith, they need to walk behind us, with us, on the side of us, not against us. Okay? With that perpetual hate, you're not going to get in. He didn't brand perpetual hate. He didn't brand faith in those who have perpetual hate. Even faith, even hate itself for these people that you've been grafted in, y'all ain't gonna go for that. So I was out, me being a Gentile or a heathen, I wouldn't give a rest, but behind when damn one of you say, I'm going Yahweh, belief and faith, I'm going in that way. Get out of my way. Oh yes, I'm in there. I'm going that way. My eyes is on him. Forget who on my left, forget who on my right. I'm with him. I'm going in that way. They can't even look at us and see a way through because we were supposed to be in the light. We ain't shown no light. We ain't shown darkness on the earth. We ain't shown nothing. So ain't nobody supposed to be looking at us to know the way. Okay, so it says in verse 18, Romans chapter 11, verse 18, boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bear it not the root. See, that means you are not a part of Yah if you boast up against the branches. Okay, he's letting you know, but the root thee. He's letting you know you are not in the plan. You're not in there with us. If you boasting up against the branches, you're not a part of the root. That means you ain't connected. That means you ain't got that belief and fear branded in you. Okay. So verse 19, thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I may be grafted in. Verse 20, well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. There you go. You see, what did I just tell y'all? That's how they got in. They didn't get in because they crazy about us. We ain't even crazy about each other. Who gonna come in our way? Get out the way. Nobody don't want your flesh way of being the direction to the Most High Yah. We ain't showing no spiritual route. No, nobody's teaching spirit and truth. Nobody teaching the light, but yet everybody needs to come our way. Sit down. Verse 20 says, let's go back to verse 19. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I may be grafted in. Verse 20, well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. Okay, so now it's not only there, but fear. So that put fear in there too. So they're coming in through belief, faith, and fear. Sit down. They don't have to come through you. But they can't hate. They can't dislike. They can't get with the world to go up against you. They got to either be for you as the people of Yah or have that hate in them to be against you. Because if they're against you, they're against Yah. But understand this. They have every right to be against sin. But guess what? The reason why it cuts out that they have every right to be against sin, because they are sin too. That's what we don't understand. We all have sin. We got it in us now. Iniquity. That's why he said forgiveness is heavy. Everybody should be forgiving everybody because you're all sinning. I'm coming through the spiritual realm to get you. I'm not coming through your flesh. And the same thing with the Gentiles and the heathens. He's not coming through their flesh. He's coming to their spirit where he branded them. Okay. And that's what it says. Look in 20. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off. That was when they were broken off, Israel. And thou standest by faith. Look here. And be not high-minded, but fear. So here it is. They coming in through belief, faith, and fear. There it is. Those are the Most High's brand. There go the Most High brands. I don't know if y'all can see them. Those are the brands from the kingdom. Before the foundation of the world, those are the brands. Now you see how they got in? So who can deny them? Who on this earth can deny them in? Nobody. because it took place already before the foundation of the world. Sit down and find your way. Find out where you're supposed to be going. Okay. And this is why I say a lot of times when I say that the Gentiles, we're not supposed to be under them, learning from them. Okay. Especially somebody like me, they are not coming in that route to teach us. Y'all did not send them to be a servant to teach us. Okay. They got grafted in before the foundation of the world, and ain't nobody can do nothing about it. And the last person and people can say anything is Israel, Judah, or the Hebrew Israelites, or Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed, flesh seed. We ain't got nothing to say. Heaven then locked them in and locked them out. Heaven's got them rolled in already. What are you talking about? And he telling you here, faith, fear, and it's in another verse talking about belief. They came in through belief. Okay, but he's telling you they got in. Verse 21. But he's telling them not to be high-minded and don't be boasted. So it's showing them they still have to be humble in the midst of the branches, the true branches. They can't be coming up just, trying to bring us down or belittle us and lower than we already are. When they come in like that, they coming in as serpents, okay? He said they not even a part of the root. Y'all better watch out when they come in like that. And that's what I be teaching y'all, is that I'm seeing them coming to the point where they're talking about it, but that's as far as they get. Those are not the ones that's grafted in. Oh no. He ain't letting you get to the point where only you wants to still live the lie, but yet now you think you awaken and you believe that, they are the true Israelites, but yeah, we're going to still have our hatred heart, like Cain and Abel, like Cain had for his own brother for no reason. Oh no, y'all ain't going for that. You ain't the grafted in. No, you not. The grafted in, meaning you grafted in with us. So therefore, that's where you need to be trying to find your place. It's with us, not against us. Because when he get us, your butt better be with us. Or you doomed to hell. Because when he get us to Mount Zion, everybody in Mount Zion is going to be holy. He going to cleanse us up from the inside out. He's going to give us a new spirit and a new spiritual heart. He's going to give us a flesh heart and a flesh, a flesh heart and not a flesh mind. He said he's going to give us a new fleshly heart. He's going to do surgery on us. You better get behind us. You better come on in with us. Because you ain't going to get to be against us and think you coming in. Because he's going to measure your heart. It ain't about how you might say I'm a believer. I'm coming in through belief. I'm coming in through faith. I'm coming in through fear. No, you ain't. That's a brand before the foundation of the world that he have already branded. And they ain't coming in trying to figure it out. They know where their places is at. Why? It's in Gentiles' time is up, y'all. It's over for the Gentiles. If they're coming in because they're coming home. They're on their way home. Okay? Because that going to Mount Zion, it even talks about how the other nations going to be coming up to worship Yah. Go back and read Ezekiel. He tells you, and the heathens shall know. They shall exalt my holy name. They shall praise me. Go check it out. See, we as Hebrew Israelites, if you stiff-neck rebellion and disobedient, you don't listen to nobody. So sit down. Try to hear the voice of the Most High Yah from the spiritual level and where he resides in you. And if you can't, sit down. Okay? So here and on, he's telling them, let's abide, shall be grafted in. Verse 23. Look at verse 23. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. See that? If they don't abide, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. If they unbelief, you ain't getting in this here branches. You ain't being connected. See, because what people don't understand what the branch is. They don't understand what the root is. They don't understand what the branch is. Okay? People put too much glory and exalting the branches. You got to understand, we all coming in through one holy way, the Most High Yah. That's it. We all coming in that door, that same door. So it shows us we need to stand down and stop. We need to find our place in Yah, in Him, in us, so that we can go out with a bang. What is a bang? We know we flesh. We know we got iniquity. We know we got sin. Go out in the spirit with the word, with His power, and with His spirit teaching us, leading us, guiding us, showing us the way. And stop going out here in the flesh thinking you all that and something. Okay? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 1. In the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, we're going to hit right back on to what took place before the foundation of the world. I think I got all the way off, but that's okay. The Father told me, you can do it, Deborah. That's what He told me, y'all. He said, you can do it. Because I was saying, I got all these verses. He said, but Deborah, you can do it. And He let me go on talking because He knew that already. He had it rooted in me already. So in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4, it says, according as He has chosen us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be made holy. We should be holy and without blame before Him in, it says love, but in give and gave. Because that's what He did. He gave us all of what we have in Him, in us. Okay, now watch this here. You would never, ever see. Watch this here. According as He has chosen us. Why isn't it said according as He has chosen the Hebrew Israelites and the tribe of Judah? No, He said us. In Him, us, before the foundation of the world. This is Paul, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in give and gave. That's Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. Now we go to verse 5. Having predestined us. Wait a minute, where is the Hebrew Israelites? Where is the tribe of Judah? That's why I say y'all need to stand down on that and understand what took place before the foundation of the world. He ain't riding on Hebrew Israelites in the tribe of Judah. Those that are Hebrew Israelite and the tribe of Judah, you have to understand He's still talking to those who are branded. Not everybody out here and do whatever you want and you're going to come into the kingdom. That shows that Yah is not just. Is He going to let you come down here and do all this and never do anything? But yet you coming back to the kingdom like you the kingdom itself. Okay, but listen to what He said in verse 5. Having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Yeshua HaMashiach to Himself, according to the good pleasure of His will. That's what Sister Deborah was telling y'all about. It's His will. It's not yours. It's not mine. We need to get off of that and stop making things our way, our will. We need to stand in that gap where He need us to stand, to represent Him, not us. Okay? And then He said in verse 6, to the praise and the glory of His grace, wherein He has made us acceptable in His beloved. You see that beloved? You know who that beloved is? Do anybody know who that beloved is? That's Christ. He had made us through. He had brought us in through that power. And we're running around here thinking it's about our flesh. And our flesh is loaded with iniquity and sin. You see how we are messing up? We have messed up from the floor up and run around here thinking it ain't over. So the flesh can still do all this wicked down here. It ain't over. We still got some more sin and wickedness to do. We still got some more iniquity and evil to do. That's all that's left. But what I wanted to show you in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4 and 6 through 6. Where is Hebrew Israelites? Where is Judah? Where is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in that? You know where they at? They don't need to be there. That's where Yah is at. That's where He is at. That's where He was. That's where He is. And that's how it's going to be. No, it ain't going to go our way. He's sitting here saying, Paul is sitting here saying and telling them that Yah has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. So who in the rest behind today have the audacity to tell Paul he ain't in there? You see? Paul even said in verse 5, having predestined us into the adoption of the children of Yeshua HaMashiach in himself. But why do we want to make it about us? Why everything has to rumble under us? Because we don't give a rat's behind that he has orchestrated everything before the foundation of the world. We want the hand in it. We want the title. Even Israel and Judah and those who say that we are the true Jews. All of this, when you finish saying it, you're saying it in the flesh. Where do you stand in the spirit of where Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? They were servants of Yah in the spirit. Where do you stand? Name one of you can answer it. Name one. Because you couldn't tell me where you stand. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were men out of Yah's own heart, meaning they came from the kingdom as the spiritual servants of Yah. Where do you stand today? Where do you stand? But yet you want the world to accept you and embrace you based on what you're showing, you're conducting yourself. But yet, how do you think that the world is going to receive you the way you conducting yourself? You ain't showing them that you Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob seed. You're showing them like you represent Satan's seed, but you want them to represent you. Sit down. Okay, the next one is let's try Ephesians chapter 2 while we're here. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1 and 3, it says, and you have he quickened who were dead in trespassing and sin, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of the world. See, that's what happened to us, because we got down here and followed the way of the world and the way of darkness. But when Yeshua HaMashiach came and HaMashiach raised Yeshua up, oh, it was on. We was redeemed back where we belong. Okay. And he says here in verse 2, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the princes of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Don't that sound something? Don't that sound strange? The children of disobedience. That sound like a people. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob ain't never been disobedient or labeled as disobedient, stiff-necked, or rebellion. Okay, so look at verse 3. Among whom also we all had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of our flesh and of the mind. Now, see right here where it says desires of the flesh and of the mind. See, people think the mind that they have in the flesh is the mind that Yah is saying, let this mind be in you that was in Christ. They think it is the flesh. The flesh will never reach the level of Christ. HaMashiach, never. So that's not what he's saying. He's speaking of spiritual mind. Okay, so he says here in verse 4, in verse 4, but Yah, who is rich in mercy, for his great giving gave wherewith he gave us. Let me see, where do that go with? Okay, verse 5, even when we were dead in sin, he quickened us together with Christ. There go that power. If you ever wonder how he did it and brought us back, it was always Christ. And that's what the world have no idea. They don't know who Christ is. They don't know the power of all power is in Christ. And he quickened us. Listen to what it says in verse 5. Even when we were dead in sin, have quickened us together with Christ. By grace ye are saved. How did he do it? By the power of Christ. He brought us back. He adopted us back to the Father. He brought us back. That's what you call true redeeming. He redeemed us back because we got off course and we went in the way of darkness, in the way of lust and disobedience, of sin, iniquity. But through Christ, which is the power of the Father, checked us back and brought us back, redeemed us back to the Father. Why? Why back to the Father? Because that's where we come from. That's what took place before the foundation of the world. He brought us back to that level in Yah. So that's how we are going back. But it's not everybody, y'all. It's those who came down. They're going to return back. Okay, so let's see what is said in let me see here. We did John. Yes, we did. Let's see what Peter, First Peter chapter 1. In First Peter in chapter 1, verse 20. First Peter in chapter 1, verse 20. Who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was made manifest these last times for you. Verse 21. Who by him do believe in Yah, that raised him up from the dead, and gave his glory, that your faith and hope might be in Yah. You see? Faith and hope might be in Yah. What took place? Verse 20. Who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world. This took place before the foundation of the world. So while we really focusing on what the world is today, you get a better outlook, understanding that heavens, where Yah throne is, he has orchestrated everything we see today. You get a better feel, you get a better understanding. Now, a lot of things you still be lost in, because you'll be wondering, why is y'all letting them do this? Why is that going on? Why would he allow it to continue? All of that be going on. But when you understand that heavens kept everything in the order in which he willed it on the earth. So he ain't coming down here changing what is already written just to make you grafted in, or just to get you to come on and do right. No, it's over. That's how over it is. It started before the foundation of the world, before anything was created. So when you're out here trying to look and make things be something different than what it already been, this is where you get all these religions, these different denominations, and these different beliefs, because they're trying to set everything up in the way of the world. Because you know why they do that? It's because people want what they see and believe. Because they have no faith. They have no trust. They have no hope. And they have no care. They have no compassion. They have no mercy. They have nothing. And they like it that way. They don't want you telling them nothing, saying nothing to them, giving them spirit and truth, giving them the light. I'm going to tell you, I stepped out today. I was in the house just doing cleaning. I stepped out after I made that video. I made that this morning, but I don't know why they didn't upload it until the afternoon. But I stepped out today, and I can truly say that it's something when the Ruach is fully in you. Full. It's just the whole atmosphere and how the people deal with you and how they make you feel and how they treat you. You know that the light is fully bright in you. At least I do. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all. I know the difference. I know the difference. When Yah is on fire in me, I go outside, get amongst people. Let me tell you something. I know, and I never give it to me. Father, yeah, I see what you're doing. And then I be trying to see, well, wait a minute, what is it they see? And what is it? Honey, please. I mean, just treat you like you know, just, and I like that, because I guess the Father says, I ain't gonna say what he said, because I can't guess it. But You know, it's a different feel, y'all. It really is. And I guess when somebody like me, they're always being at the bottom of the ocean, it's okay to come up and feel something, huh? I guess so. So even in Exodus, Moses in Exodus chapter 32 and verse 32, Moses was talking to the Most High Yah about if you don't, in a sense, if he don't, let me go there. I'm gonna show y'all something. And this is I would never understand. I would never understand why ain't nobody thought to see this. Moses said it, and who else said it? Moses said it, and who else said it? Somebody else said it. I think it's in Revelation. I'm gonna have to go there. But look at what it's in Exodus chapter 32 and verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of the book which thou hast written. What is it that Moses know about the book that thou hast written? So you see where I'm going with this? This is what I try to teach people, that before the foundation of the world, it was finished, baby. You don't come down here and rule the kingdom that has finished work. You either get with his program or get your tail somewhere and sit down. You ain't gonna start no new program. That's why I feel really disappointed in the Hebrew Israelite, the new awakening, and we the people. Wait a minute. Why don't you find out what you awaken to? Let's awaken to some light. Let's awaken to spirit and truth instead of awaken to stupidity. We can have many wives, and that's just one of the stupidity things. Having many wives is only for the flesh, and flesh is sin, iniquity, and wicked. So you can have a million, have a good time. Okay, so here in Exodus, why do Moses mention this book that is what? Written. So I didn't get to write them all down, the verses, because the Father told me you don't have to speak that thing. It's in you. Now listen to what Moses is telling him. I pray thee, out of the book which thou hast written. He's telling that to the Father. Moses know it, and then y'all don't? Come on. The book Moses is talking about is exactly what I'm saying to y'all today. What took place before the foundation of the world? It was already written. Each and every last one of us. That's why I tell you, you can look in the mirror and know where you stand this day. Because your whole living identifies who you serve. It identifies who you serve. Okay, so here in let's go to Psalms. No, yeah, let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. Let's see, it says something in 3. Revelation chapter 3. Now we're going all the way to Revelation. Something finna go on here, y'all. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. And it says, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white remnant. And I will not blot out his name out of the Lamb book of life. That's in Revelation, y'all. So the Lamb book of life, y'all, was before the foundation of the world. So why would people look at Sister Deborah all cockeyed like she talking about what took place before the foundation of the world? See, what it leads me to understand is Yah is so awesome in what he's doing in these end days. He is bringing light out of darkness. Because I'm like be saying to the Father, wait a minute, Father, they didn't see this? This is all wait a bit. So what? It's a study guide. They ain't got it, because if you don't have him to be the teacher that he promised to be when he come in you and you in him, he abide in your spirit and your spirit abide in him, and he'll teach you. They don't want it. That's why they ain't got it. So I'm sitting here telling you what took place before the foundation of the world, and Moses sitting here telling you he got a book that's already written. And then here go in verse 5 of Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white remnant. And I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before the Father, before his angels. Wait a minute, hold up. The name already written? See, you can look at me all cockeyed, but the truth of the matter is, when I'm speaking and telling you what took place before the foundation of the world, that shows you that you've been missing a whole lot. When you think you up on something, you know something, you got something of the Most High God. Oh, I got the keys to the kingdom. I know I got my one-way ticket to Mount Zion. You ain't got nothing because you don't know nothing. And this is why people don't have any fruit of the Spirit, and they cannot even identify fruit of the Spirit within themselves. They can't even identify any labor, any work. They can't identify nothing. But they got their tickets already. They got their keys to the kingdom. And here, Yeshua is talking about the name that's in the book of life. Also, before the foundation of the world was a book to the lake of fire. The book of death to the lake of fire. There's 2 books that was already written before heaven and earth was created. So the world didn't gain, it lost, because it never knew that everything was finished before it was. That's why you got all these different denominations, these different beliefs, because everybody think it's in their hand and their authority and what they think and what they feel, their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding, and they missing it. People like that, you ain't gonna make it to the kingdom. You ain't gonna make it to the kingdom. Psalms 56. I'm almost done. Psalms 56. Let's go there. In verse 8. Psalms 56 and verse 8, it reads, Thou telleth my wandering, but by my tears, though my tears into the bottle. Put my tears into thy bottle. Who is this? David? Is this David? Watch this here. Are they not in thy book? This is David. I think David is stressed here. Yeah. The time of distress. David was in distress. He's talking to Yah. He said, Thou telleth my wandering. Meaning Yah can see that situation he's in. Though my tears into a bottle. His tears are in a bottle. Now, this is David's Psalms to Yah. But listen to where he say here. Are they not in thy book? So how did David, Moses, Satan, how is it they know, and Yeshua, he spoke of, it is written, it is written. The whole idea of me coming here telling y'all what took place before the foundation of the world, guess where it's at? In all of them telling you that there is a book where it is written. What's written? What took place before the foundation of the world was it already written. You got people on this devil platform would break that down as, oh, before the foundation of the world, it was written, and everything that's happened is Yah, that what Yah has done before the foundation, but then they'll turn around and teach the opposite just to bring a message before you. Counteracting all that they already said. They don't know which side they want to be on, because it's all about getting that check at the end of the month from YouTube, so they can swing you any way they want. And any way they swing you, it ain't nothing but darkness. And you don't mind. That's It is what it is. People love stuff like that. Okay. Now I want to go to Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8. Did I go there? No. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8. In Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8, it reads, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slaughtered. No, say it right, Deborah. Slow it down because it's going right back to what you just said. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slaughtered from the foundation of the world. And then it tells you in verse 9, if any have an ear, let him hear. That ear is spiritual. Can you hear that spiritual, what was just said in verse 8? And what it's letting you know, before the foundation of the world, the Lamb was already slaughtered. Yah then also had a book, to the book of life. And everybody in that book is in the Lamb book of life, already written before he even built the heavens and the earth. So when you look at me all cockeyed trying to figure out, she talking about what took place before the foundation of the world. There go one. There you go, Vam. You missed it. They have told you that something took place before the foundation of the world. How many times can you see predestined, ordained you before the foundation of the world? I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. What is he saying, Deborah? What I already said is finished, because they ain't gripping nothing. Even if it's before them, they refuse to take it, because it is what you call spirit and truth. It is the light that has been in darkness and never moved. But since we in the end days, he bringing that light out of darkness in these end days. Okay, now this will be my last. I got one more after this one. Proverbs chapter 3. This is the sad thing to me. I really think this is sad, because it's like, now this one right here, y'all, this is I don't know if this is the verse, but let me see. Okay, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 19. I think this is it. I don't know. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 19, and it reads, Yah by wisdom has found the earth. By understanding has he established the heaven. You see that? Listen to what he says. Yah by wisdom have found the earth. You know how he said wisdom is a her? Okay. It says Yah by wisdom. Let's kind of up it. Let's go to verse let's go to verse 16. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to explain all this, but I'm going to go on and shoot straight through it. Okay, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 16. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasureness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. Yah by wisdom have found the earth. By understanding have he established the heaven. Look how he called it all a she and a her, and then brought you right back into himself. I don't know if y'all saw that. He talked about starting, I think it really went to verse 15, and 16, 17, and 18. And then when he got to 19, he called it out what her and she is. Verse 19, and Yah by wisdom have found the earth. By understanding, he established the heaven. And it goes on, breaking down how Yah created the earth. But you have to be able to see that the way he created it and the things that he's done, you will never hear nobody teaching and preaching. You will never hear nobody talking in verse 18. She is a tree of life to them that laid hold of upon her. You see, you won't get them that, because this is where I was explaining to y'all. People, they can be in this book all their life. They can start off at 10 and get out of it at 70 and be as lost as they were when they was 10, when they reached 70. Because they don't have the spirit of Yah teaching them. So therefore, they just go by what they reading. But somebody that reads Proverbs 3, you hear Solomon explaining this she, this her. Then you come back into 19, he explained it that Yah by wisdom has founded the earth, by understanding has established the heaven. And then he go into deepness into it. But if you won't hear them preaching and teaching to tell y'all that. Why? They want to keep everything Yah has created out of the hand of the power of who he really stands for. And they want to orchestrate it and teach it to where man can make it up the way they want you to believe it. And I'm so grateful that Yah is just that power. Ooh, he is that power all by itself. Because if you leave it to the flesh of these men and women on this earth, you'll be messed up from the floor. Why? Because their flesh is iniquity, sin, and wicked and evil. We all have that in us. So how are we putting so much trust in this flesh on this earth and have no trust in him that has no wicked and evil in him? Oh, no, we don't want him. We can't deal with him. That's how Israel and Judah always been. They never wanted the true Yah. They always wanted a handmade God that they can serve. Then they down here clowning still. Even in the midst of their so-called sick awakening, they still haven't woke up to anything that their forefathers have waken up to outside of. I mean, let me say that right. Let me say that right. Yes, they did. They did wake up to something. They woke up to the fact that they are the same stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient forefathers. But they that today. That's the best way I can nail their awakening. That's it. So my last verse is Proverbs 8 and verse 22. Proverbs 8 and verse 22. But in that one there, it was Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 19. But I started, I think, in verse 16. But if you go back to 15, Proverbs 3 and verse 15, all the way down to 19, you'll see it's talking about the creation and her and she, and then it started running right into Yah. You see, I going back to what I was saying, they fail to teach it to you that Yah, feminine and masculine, male and female, did not come from the earth, you guys. What part of that y'all just don't grip? His image is male or female. No. Let me correct that. Feminine or masculine. So when they start to hear what was said in Proverbs, they can't grip it because they can't stand him to be saying anything about a she this and a she did, because they have ripped her from all that she was created to be, female. And they have claimed it. That's why their men are walking around here trying to be women. See, nobody never thought of that. In great numbers. You got them in the closet, out of the closet, around the door, under the dishwasher. They're everywhere. Claiming to represent a female with another male. They all over the place. Married, unmarried, divorced. They even are doing it among family members. Oh, when I heard that, I said, no, Father, come on. It's time. Ain't it time, Father? Y'all, ain't it time for you to come on here? Come on here, Father, y'all. Because that's just sickening. But y'all be in full denial that it's existing. It's just amazing to me how all this stuff that's going on in the world, everybody out walking around here cockeyed like they don't see none of it. And y'all say, leave them alone. They don't see it. They don't claim they see it. They don't want to see it. They portray, but you can't see the prophecies if your eyes ain't open. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this here last verse is Proverbs 8 and verse 22. And it reads, Proverbs 8 and verse 22. Yah possesses me in the beginning of his way, before his work of old. When was the old? In the beginning, when he created everything. When what is going on here? It said, watch this here. Yah possesses me in the beginning of his way. Okay? Before his works of old. Before the foundation of the world. When they got called it a Old Testament. Before that time. He's telling you right there that Yah had already possessed him. And listen to verse 23. Is it 23? Yes. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or even not even from the beginning, or ever the earth was. He was already set up for everlasting before the earth was. Wait a minute. This is talking about what took place before the foundation of the world. Yes, it is. But see, that's why I said people can't see it because they don't want to see it. They're in full denial because they got to have a hand in it. They figure they got to help Yah on this earth. So they got to turn it the way they want to turn it to make people think that, oh, you holy, you the man or the woman of Yah, you the holy. See, they got to get the glory. So verse 24 says, when there was no death, I was brought forth. When there was no fountains abounding with water. Verse 25. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. Before the hills was, I was brought forth. Verse 26. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. Verse 27. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the deep. Now I got to stop because see, right there also shows me that while you thinking you telling somebody what took place before the foundation of the world, it's just not meant for people to really understand that. You know why? It's too many things in here telling them that something took place before the foundation of the world. They just don't. It's a spirit of not wanting to accept what took place before the foundation of the world. That's just it. And it's a good thing on my behalf because it allows me to understand exactly what the Ruach keep telling me from the inside. There's a mystery that has to be spoken to bring light out of darkness in the end day. That's me. They don't know it's me coming. They don't know that's me bringing it out. I'm bringing that light out of the darkness that's been in the darkness since the beginning of time. But I'm not bringing it out to do anything with them. I'm just finna show them my power. And right now I'm bringing out light. And then what comes after my light is going to be my power. All right. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you all, I appreciate each and every last one of you. And I hope you did get something out of it because I believe we need to be set free in more than just one way. Because we are so bombarded with all this chaos in the world. And we need to know where we stand. I mean, really, you do, y'all. You need to know where you stand before Yah and where Yah stand before you. And to know what took place before the foundation of the world lets you know ain't nobody down on this earth in control. How about that? Ain't nobody on this earth in control. So they need to shut their mouths. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. Appreciate everybody in the live chat. Shalom and shalom.